It's no secret that some people like to push the boundaries when it comes to pets, but there are some animals which are definitely best kept outdoors. Whether notoriously dangerous or just downright strange, here are some of the scariest pets people actually own. Number 10. Part of the pack. Most people believe dogs are a man's best friend, but some prefer their pooches howling at the moon. Take 80-year-old German man Werner Freund, who lived with wolves for over 40 years before passing away in 2014. Freund's appreciation for the creatures began when he worked as a zoo assistant during the 1950s, and in 1972 he established his own 25-acre wolf sanctuary, where he hand-raised over 70 animals on his own home turf. To earn their respect and establish himself as the leader of 6 separate packs, Freund took part in mealtimes and even fed the wolves with meat from his own mouth, eating first to maintain his position as alpha. He hoped his companionship with the predators would help squash fairy tale rumors about wolves being villains of the animal kingdom. Freund isn't the only one to take a walk on the wild side, as Denver resident Kelly Lund's inseparable bond with his pet wolf dog named Loki earned viral fame. This hybrid breed requires a license in most places under the Dangerous Pets Act due to their primal and predatory instincts. Shortly after being adopted from a breeder in Utah, Loki shot to unexpected online stardom when Lund started an Instagram account dedicated to the giant hound. Since then, Loki and Lund have worked with Google, GoPro, and Mercedes-Benz, and continue to share their adventures online. Number 9. Lynx. Not everyone is a dog person, and many prefer the less demanding companionship of the common house cat. But one 11-year-old girl in Russia took things to the next level with her pet lynx named Zen. In the wild, the lynx is a fearsome predator, used to hunting birds, fish, and rabbits. So it's surprising to see this 30-kilogram feline hanging out at home like any old domestic tomcat. Zen began his life as part of a troupe of exotic animals performing in a traveling circus until he was rescued in 2008. Surprisingly, it isn't illegal to own a lynx in Russia, and when Sofia Nikoluchkin's parents were told their flat was too small to keep one, they saved up for a house just to accommodate the animal. Sofia bottle-fed the wild cat from a young age, and the family already had domestic cats who helped raise Zen as one of their own, despite the fact he looked a little different. Nowadays, the pair have such a strong bond that Zen lets her dress him up for various games, and he even sleeps on her bed. Although many believe that lynx and other big cats shouldn't be kept in captivity, Zen's family maintain that the docile wildcat has a happy life as an oversized moggy. Number 8. Alligator. The last thing you'd expect to see in someone's front yard is an alligator on a motorbike. But then again, this is Florida we're talking about. Meet Rambo, a 6-foot-long, 200-pound gator who ditched the swamp to cozy up with his 55-year-old owner, Mary Thorne, at her home in Lakeland, Florida. I don't know about you, but a giant slimy reptile with enough jaw strength to bite through steel doesn't seem like the ideal house guest. However, Rambo came into Mary's life in an unexpected way. Thorne discovered a suspicious package on the doorstep of a wrestling club she ran one day, only to find 5 malnourished baby gators inside. Despite her best attempts, Rambo was the only survivor, and Thorne took him in and raised him as they ate at the table, watched cartoons, and went on walks together. Rambo became like any friendly neighborhood pet and appeared at parties and events, even dressing up for the holidays. Despite their unmistakable bond and Thorne's legal permit, Rambo was almost seized in 2016 after he exceeded 6 feet, the agreeable limit for Mary's 2.5-acre land. Although she won Rambo back, Thorne is keen to warn against people having domesticated alligators as pets, explaining that if people acted responsibly, less alligators would need rescuing to begin with. Number 7. Wendy the Whippet. You might be thinking, what's so scary about a Whippet? But would you like to come face to face with this pumped up pooch in a dark alley? Whippets might be famous for their slender frame and incredible speeds of up to 56 kilometers an hour, but this particular pup, owned by Ingrid Hansen, looks like she's been hitting the gym 5 days a week. Surprisingly, protein shakes aren't the reason behind Wendy's buff build. It's all down to a rare genetic condition called bully Whippet syndrome, which I hope was named after their playground bully appearance. This occurs when the myostatin gene has 2 defective copies, causing double the muscle mass of a regular dog of their breed. Wendy's is probably the most extreme case, and this unfortunately came at a price, as the doubled weight of her lungs and heart put a strain on her cardiac and respiratory systems. Sadly, this Hulk-like pet, otherwise known as Big Wendy, or the Schwarzenegger canine, passed away in 2014, age 13. Number 6. Lion. Lions are known as the king of the jungle, so it's no surprise we don't try to keep them as pets. But not everyone is so smart. Billionaire playboy Humaid al-Bukaish from the United Emirates pretty much has an entire safari in his backyard, including flamingos, tigers, and chimps. But his prized possession is a fully grown 400-pound lion. Al-Bukaish, who clearly has too much money, frequently posts pictures of himself on Instagram posing alongside the lion in expensive cars like Mercedes and Lamborghinis, which he apparently doesn't mind getting scratched. This bizarre way of saying, "Look at me, I'm super rich," is also incredibly irresponsible, because treating these dangerous animals like lavish status symbols is resulting in a growing intake of abandoned exotic pets in wildlife rescue parks. A rare white lion can reportedly sell for up to $50,000 on the market in the Gulf, and in 2010 alone, over 200 illegal animals were confiscated in the United Arab Emirates. That's a lot of money for a few flexes on the gram. Number 5. Tiger. Plenty of celebs like to show off their wealth by investing in unusual pets, but Floyd Mayweather should probably think about returning his after a video of him struggling to control a leash tiger went viral in 2017. The heavyweight boxer supposedly became infatuated with the idea of owning a big cat after he had a massive caged albino tiger at his 40th birthday party. Couldn't he just get a chocolate fountain like everybody else? In 2015, Mayweather sparked controversy again when he received a tiger cub as a one-of-a-kind Christmas present. The very same tiger which ran amok in a crowded hotel room just 2 years later. If that wasn't proof enough that tigers are no tomcats, it's been reported that captive big cat attacks have killed 17 adults and 5 children since 1991, injuring some 261 more. What's more, One Green Planet estimates initial costs of owning a small tiger, including food, transport, and maintenance, to be around $22,000, followed by annual costs exceeding $2,300. Although they're banned as pets in 42 out of 50 US states, many tigers unfortunately end up in circuses or turn up malnourished in wildlife parks when the novelty wears off, or they simply outgrow their owners. Number 4. Creepy cockroaches. Cockroaches are usually thought of as pests rather than pets, so they're probably one of the least likely creatures to be welcomed into your home. But many people now treat these creepy crawlies as companions. I'm not just talking about the regular kind though. Meet the Madagascan hissing cockroach, which can grow up to 3 inches long, reproduce like crazy, and live for 3 to 5 years. They get their name from the loud hissing sound they make when disturbed, or as a way of communicating during courtship. In recent years, these critters have become so popular that retailers like Petco have started selling them for about $5.95 a pop. London-based exotic animal vlogger Emzotic is the proud owner of a pair of these giant hissing cockroaches, which go by the name of rice and beans. Although she admits she was hesitant at first, Em says that these intimidating insects are actually a sweet and slow species which love socializing and eating lots of fruits and veggies. They also love to wash themselves regularly and are said to be cleaner than humans. In fact, many people claim that these animals are the perfect pets for kids looking to get over their fear of bugs, because they're far slower and more docile than the average cockroach. Number 3. Grizzly bear. Friendships between humans and bears have long been depicted in books and film, but they're usually the cuddly kind like Pooh Bear and Paddington. Naturalist Casey Anderson is living proof that the same bond can exist in the real world, as his relationship with an 800-pound grizzly bear named Brutus stole hearts when they appeared on Oprah in 2009. Anderson saved Brutus from being euthanized at an overcrowded wildlife park when the bear was just 5 months old, and the pair have been inseparable ever since. Casey and his giant furry friend eat dinner at the table at Thanksgiving, often kick back in the hot tub together, and Brutus even became the best man at Anderson's wedding when he married actress Missy Pyle. Anderson says Brutus is as smart and compassionate as any human companion and hopes to put an end to myths about grizzly bears being bloodthirsty beasts. Anderson is clear that he doesn't treat Brutus like a pet, and although they spend a lot of time together, Brutus has plenty of space in the Montana Grizzly Encounter Sanctuary, which was founded by his owner. Since Brutus's rescue, 7 more bears have joined him at the sanctuary, and Anderson has even created a documentary alongside Animal Planet to raise awareness about these amazing animals. Number 2. Mutant snake. Snakes are one of the most divisive exotic pets out there. Although there were 1.15 million pet snakes in US households as of 2011, many still wouldn't dream of letting one slither into their home. One family in Louisiana got more than they bargained for in 2018 when they were gifted a western rat snake by a friend who found it in his backyard. only to discover it had 2 heads. After realizing how rare this is, Tanny Janus decided to take the snake in as a pet, and she named the pair Filet and Gumbo. This kind of mutation only occurs in around 1 in 100,000 wild births, and in such cases the snakes have 2 working heads with separate brains, but 1 shared body. Janus helps the bizarre pet shed its skin, and she has to keep an eye on their drinking habits because Gumbo, the dominant head, tends to drag Filet through the water bowl. Filet and Gumbo might be strangely cute, but how would you feel about letting a 19-foot python play with your 3-year-old? This is a regular occurrence in the household of California father Eric LeBlanc, which also happens to be home to hundreds of snakes and reptiles, including Shelby, the giant reticulated python. LeBlanc took the animals in after a fire in his reptile shop, and Shelby now loves nothing more than chilling out on the couch and watching TV. Number 1. Hyena Hijinks. In 2014, a video showing a hyena reuniting with its owner at the Octagon Wildlife Facility went viral online. But the heartwarming clip wasn't all it seemed. Ryan Hahn bought the female hyena, which he named Jake, for $5,000 as a cub from a private zoo after he became bored of normal house pets. Knowing that it was illegal to keep a hyena without a license, Hahn lied about living in Alabama and kept Jake cooped up in his 1-bedroom Miami Beach apartment for 11 hellish months as he struggled to control the 100-pound wild animal. Hahn allegedly even wrestled with Jake to try and assert his dominance, but he eventually handed her over to wildlife officials when he could no longer stand her bouncing off the walls. He now visits Jake regularly and posts their encounters on his YouTube channel, accompanied by a shady PayPal link to Jake's Wildlife Conservation Fund. Hahn isn't the only one to try and tame a hyena, as a notorious group of fraudsters operating in Nigeria, known as the Hyena Men, can often be found parading the animals around on leashes under the guise of some twisted street performance for tourists. The spotted hyenas are muzzled and secured with motorcycle chains, and a plant-based narcotic called scopolamine is used to subdue them. Hopefully these wild animals, which are nearing extinction, will stop being treated as pets someday soon. It's clear that most of these animals should never truly be kept as pets, but which one would you most like to spend a day with? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.